Hey traders, how is everybody doing today? This is Jeff from Zen Trader. Just wanted to do a quick video. I've been pretty absent from my blog and the markets in general this week. I had switched servers on my blog and it wasn't a very smooth transition internally. I've got a lot of broken links and a lot of posts didn't fall into the correct category, so I have a lot of work to do on that end. So I haven't really had time to post, and I won't really have much time for the next couple days, but I wanted to put together a video heading into tomorrow to just kind of give you an update as to what I've been doing and maybe give you some actionable suggestions on how to play the ending of the week. So I have some charts I want to look at. The first one is the put call with the actual put call removed, and we're just looking at a 10-day EMA of it. I find that it smooths out the I find that it smooths out the erratic action of the actual put call. And so how I use this, I've got this gray line as like my median, and then the first two lines outside of that are essentially well, this one would be complacency is setting in, and this is basically extreme complacency or exuberance, and basically a top has ensued. You can see behind here, I'm not sure how well you can see this. This is an actual chart of the Nasdaq. So here is a very extreme complacent level coinciding with the top right there. So essentially what I'm getting from this chart right now is that we're nowhere near fear in the markets. We're not even above my zero line here. Fear would be somewhere around here. Extreme fear would be somewhere around here. So essentially, let's see if I can show you. You've got here is extreme fear coinciding with a major market bottom in 08, and then at the end of 08 you've got here coinciding with another major market bottom right there. So essentially we have the potential to go a lot more down. I'm not saying that we're going to, I'm just saying we have that potential. So next chart, here's the Nasdaq. This is a 15-minute chart. And essentially, we're just stair-stepping down. Basically, range, gap down, another range, gap down. This is just, if you're a bear, this is just awesome action. There's no reason. This chart is telling you there's no reason to be buying stocks right now. If you're long, it's gonna be painful for a little bit. Here's the RSI. It's tightening up a little bit, and there's really nothing here that tells you to be long. Basically, if you're short, you should just stay the course right now. Let's see here, next chart. Okay, what this chart is showing you is basically the last time my market timing signal gave a short, which was on August 9th, and we are still short. I'm still short. I actually took some profits earlier in the week, had trimmed my positions down, and then yesterday I used yesterday's strength at the end of the day to add back to my short positions, and that's essentially I'm about 2/3 of my initial position from at this point. Yeah, we could snap back, but right now there's really nothing telling me that we're gonna go higher right now. Everything points to more losses, so I'm just gonna continue to hold until I get some kind of signal. Let's see. This is actually a chart of the Dow Jones, and then behind it, these are some of the cool things you can do being a member. You can save charts like this. You've got the percentage of stocks above their 200-day moving average. So this can be pretty telling. Like the July lows, basically that number was around 10. So when it gets that oversold, it could be a sign that a major trading bottom has put in. The reason why I'm showing you this chart is there is some hope if you are a bull, because right now we are at 23. That's low, but it's not. We can go lower, and we probably will. But I just kind of wanted to show this chart to give maybe a little bit of hope to people who are long, or to people who might want to be considering the long side of the trade. We may not be that far off, so this is a good chart to really pay attention to. And actually, when I was at Agora, this is one of the main charts that Barry Ritholtz used to call the 08. Was it last year's bottom? I forget. Actually, you can't see it here. Last year's bottom. He was saying how the number of stocks greater than their 200-day moving average was just at like record lows, and he basically said it was a pretty easy call to make, even though he was the only one making it on last year's Agora panel. It turned out to be a great call. So we're heading back down. So who knows if we're going to create some kind of divergence, or if we're actually going to go all the way down and test these lows. So we'll have to wait and see. The next chart. Now, I just actually noticed this chart today. This is basically a chart of the New York Stock Exchange Advanced Decline Volume. And I've kind of drawn some lines here that indicate when markets could be ready to bounce a little bit, ready not. But that's not what I want to focus on right now. I just noticed this as I was getting some of these charts ready, how we're tightening up in this. I don't know if this means anything or not. I'm semi-new to this particular indicator. I just kind of came across it a couple months ago, but it is worth noting, like the way this chart seems to be forming some kind of pennant, some kind of triangle, we could be heading for some kind of big move out of this. Now, whether or not that's a crash, who knows, or whether or not it's some kind of significant bottom could be coming where we could see some massive upside volume. Such an unlikely scenario, but you can't really rule out anything. Okay, so the final chart I have, this is actually a long suggestion. This stock came up on my scans. It's not typical of my momentum stocks. We're not really showing a whole lot of stocks with really good breakout momentum plays, but this stock caught my eye for a couple reasons. It's MMR. It's I believe it's an oil and rig company in the Gulf Coast, which right off the bat, that's interesting to me that this stock is showing some pretty good accumulation right now. You would think all those stocks in that field would be getting decimated. So check out the ADX. Check out the ADX indicator, the negative DI. When it really popped up back in, let's see, when was this? April. It really started a nice negative trend, and you can see how the stock just really cratered. Would have been a nice short. Now, look at what the positive DI line is doing now. It's basically around that same range. The ADX starting to turn up. It's over 20. This could be the start of a really decent trading rally, which could eventually turn into something more. I would say it's a little overbought right now. There's a lot going on in this chart. We broke out of this range right here. We easily made it to these. I would say this would have been the first line of resistance, and it looks like we're heading up to this line of resistance. So I would say any pullback on decent volume around the 13 area could be, and maybe that might coincide with some kind of market bottom as well, if we have one. I'm not sure I'd be ready to jump into this on the long side right now, but this is certainly one that I would pay attention to. You've got the ATR popping outside of the Bollinger Band here. You've got the RSI. I like it when it goes above 70. I believe that's a sign good things to come, and you've got the MACD turning positive. And one other note, let's see, I believe I have this. This is a two-year chart. The previous one was a daily. Nice volume coming in. So here, back in the beginning of the year, massive volume, nice rally, big volume coming in. We still got a couple more days in this month that can add this up. The stock just really looks like it's hitting on all cylinders. And I don't really look at fundamentals, but it's got a 15% short float. Those guys may start covering, which could send that higher as well. So there's my 2 cents on what's going on. I don't really, it doesn't really matter to me what the market's going to do tomorrow. I'll probably continue to stay short, and if we really head down, I'll probably just take a little bit of profits and continue to hold until I get some kind of buy signal on my market timing system. So, and I'll keep you guys updated. Hope you find this informative, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.